With Coldzera finally confirmed to Faze, we got to see him in action at ESL 1 New York, and I think most of us know by now, it wasn't quite what we were hoping for. Coldzera had one of the worst tournaments he's ever had in his career, and Faze, they lost all 4 of the maps they played. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the games live, it's pretty hard being here in Australia, but what I did see was this round, and this was one of the first rounds I saw, and I started off very nervous. It looks good right now, you can see on the minimap, alright, they're working short, Coldzera's going to lurk long, maybe coming for a clutch. Things as per usual, that's what Coldzera likes to do. However, for some reason, FaZe decide they're going to more or less fake this, come back here and join Coldzera at long here. And they're going to go out long. And yes, long is Coldzera's default position where he tends to hang towards on this map, at least from this one map they've played so far. But coming up to join him is both the young gun in Brokey, and you've also got Rain coming in, who tends to be a lot of the entry fragging roles for the team. But Coldzera still goes out first, and you can say, okay, Coldzera can entry. As you see, he's actually about to get this kill with the flash, but it's one thing I don't like. So if we pause it right now, you can see, all right, Coldzera, he got the kill. He's going in entry. He's now the player with 11 HP. But what happens is Coldzera, he generally tends to go in last. He comes in for the clutches, which is fair enough. We've seen how good he is in those clutches before. But what ends up happening is the 2 full HP players in Brokey and Rain, because of this, end up running past. They get taken out, one by MSL, again by MSL, and you're leaving Coldzera in the clutch, which is fine, but he went out first on the first kill. It'd be much better if your 11 HP player died to MSL, and then Coldzera comes in for the clutch. You can see he's lurking around, doing his kind of thing. He's going to get 1 kill. Eventually, there it comes in, and then he's going to eventually try and win this one out. But Optic, they play this one pretty well and going to make things difficult for him. So this round, it made me a little bit nervous. It looked a little bit disconjointed from FaZe, but luckily, things did pick up as I moved along. And by pick up, I mean Coldzera started to play the roles I was expecting him to. I wasn't really expecting any difference because Coldzera and Nico probably going to be the ones dictating how this team runs. You can see this round here, his team decides to go down unders. They're trying to fight this one between Rain and Tarek. Cirque gets a couple of kills, and things start to look a bit dicey. But Coldzera, he's still the one hanging on here. He's the one coming in last. And that makes me think that first round I saw, maybe it was just bad timing that I saw at first, just a little bit unlucky. New teams such as FaZe, they're going to have rounds like this where things get a little bit muddled. Maybe they wanted to go out long earlier than they were able to because of the timing of the players rotating back. I don't know, but this round here you can see Coldzera starts to come in, and it's these kind of rounds which you know him for. Unfortunately, this round isn't going to be one, but it's one where he really lets them back into this round, and he potentially makes things very expensive for Evil Geniuses moving forward. You can see FaZe actually up 9-3 in this scenario. So you can see Cirque's going to be the one holding the line with the AWP, but Coldzera, he doesn't care about this. This is him in his element. He's looking for his clutches. He's trying to find timing. He's clearing the angles he likes to play, and he's going to find both these players. So he's going to find Cirque straight away, and then he's going to expect Ethan and kill him as well. Great awareness, what we expect from Cold. Unfortunately, Olive goes down playing the bomb, but you can see if a couple of these shots landed, Coldzera can definitely win this one. Another thing to note is Coldzera's been out of action for 3 months as far as official games is concerned. So he did look a little bit rusty, I'm not going to lie. He wasn't quite as sharp. He had his moments as well, which we'll go into, but I think he's going to have to get into the groove a little bit more. He's definitely still capable, but he just wasn't as sharp, or his aim wasn't quite as crisp as we're normally used to. You can see this one definitely was possible to hit some of these shots, particularly that first one we saw of the player coming out door, but he's going to get shut down. But you can see he's playing the situation well, and he's still definitely the Coldzera we know. Well, at least he was for the most part. On a lot of the T sides of some maps, he's getting dropped the AWP, particularly on Nuke, which I wasn't sure about. You saw that last clip, how Coldzera is able to move around, clear all these angles. That's a lot more possible with a rifle, and if you look at any Coldzera highlight video, they're all with the AK, the M4, the Krieg maybe coming up in the future, so I'm not sure how I feel about him picking up the AWP. Olofmeister was the primary AWPer on CT for a lot of maps, but stuff like this I wasn't sure about. And Coldzera, he's very good as a secondary AWPer. We've seen highlights of him on MIBR. He's very good hitting shots like that where players walk into him, which is often what you see from a secondary AWPer on the CT side of a map. But walking onto angles, he'd tend to lose a lot of the duels. You can see he loses that one to Tarek. There's other examples of it as well. And I'm not really sure how I feel about this. He wasn't picking up all the time, with just like a few rounds on the T side of certain maps, but I'm not sure about it. I'm interested to know what you guys think about it in the comments below, but something to see how it develops, because I, at least historically, think Coldzera's better on that rifle, particularly when trying to clutch out those rounds. So we've established that Coldzera, he's still playing those lurky roles as we expected he would. He's looking a little bit rusty, but I think he'll probably get back into it. And he's on the AWP on the T side sometimes, which I'm not entirely sure about. So I want to break down some of the rounds I did like from Cold. You can see here that Evil Geniuses are going to try and sell some kind of B rush towards this site before Breezy spotted in middle by Olive Mice. And this is where Coldzera really comes into his element and starts to play off his teammates, letting them die a lot of the time, like people like to meme about, but getting into positions where he can really bring the round back in his team's favor. You can see he uses the distraction from Coldzera in a spot you might not expect him to be in. You can see in this one, Nika goes down as well, and he's just going to let Stan walk around and then also take out Breeze. And something we know Coldzera for, he does a great job of it here. And as Brokey gets a headshot over here towards this site, he watches the players go away, and Coldzera is going to rotate back towards that A site, and again getting himself in a very pushed up position where you might not expect. That is until he does a little bit of a jump here. So you can see a bit of a jump. He still wins the fight onto Cirque. You can see he's got 3 kills and brought this one right back and given Brokey a chance at least into this one against Ethan. So these are the kind of rounds I really like. You can see he played that one really well off his teammates. Didn't do anything incredibly special, but he got into positions where he'd be favorable in those fights against Evil Geniuses, and he does it really well. Moving on. Now I'm going to fast forward this one. Brokey, he has a chance in this one. He smokes it, puts it down, but unfortunately, the youngster does end up trying to look for Ethan. Ethan plays the one really well, and the smoke ends up fading, and things become very difficult for him. Another round I really liked from Coldzera was this one here. He's defending the A site, and you can see EG, they're going to come back here towards this side of the map. Ethan starts to throw the utility as his teammates are eventually going to start rotating back here towards this side. But what Cold does, he drops that smoke you see on the screen right now, and he's just going to play around it, using it to delay with such little time left. And this is something Coldzera is very good at. This is going to be a highlight. There's nothing, again, too special to it, but it shows how powerful it can be to drop a smoke such as this one, and how the set smokes aren't always just the best thing to do. You can see he plays around it, Chris headshot onto Tarek, and then just playing around that smoke, Cirque really had no chance into that fight. So it's again not an overly complex play, but he uses that smoke, puts it down very smartly, making things difficult for EG, and he just cleans them up. And that was one of those rounds where Coldzera, he was looking quite sharp. And the last round I wanted to highlight was a messy one to start off with, the one where Coldzera really comes in his element, and despite getting 1 kill, makes things very possible for Faze, and actually wins him the rounds. You can see Stan goes aggressive, crosses past with Nico, he gets taken out before Cirque then trades him from Warehouse, and we're left in a 3v4. But to Faze's credit and to Coldzera, they play this one very well as a unit, or at least the 3 of them that are left. You're going to see Coldzera finds himself behind this mini or annex area, depending on what you like to call it, and Olive Meister and Brokey are going to be lining up smokes. This is going to be a smoke Brokey throws towards that mini area, and Olive Meister is going to be smoking out Hut. And what this does, you can see Circle's watching outside. Well, as that utility comes in, he's going to rotate off. Again, very common to someone's fake top and go towards ramp. He's going to smoke that before going up heaven. Now, as he realizes nothing's going on, look at what Coldzera's done. One, Cirque peeks out here and says, all right, outside's clean, I've just checked it. But no, Coldzera's hit that timing perfectly. They played this one well together. Great communication. And he's going to be lurking up here for a kill. And I love all the little details about this one. You can see Cold, he's going to jump up here. He's going to hear the scoping. He's going to wait a second. Now, what was he waiting for? I know I've paused at the middle of the kill. Everyone will probably get a note of me about that. But he was waiting for the fact that look how close Olive Meister and Brokey both are in here towards Hut, ready to explode, ready for any reaction as Cirque gets taken out here. So you can see what ends up happening is Coldzera ends up taking out this player. Right there, Breeze is uncomfortable, feels like he has to push into Hut, and Ethan as well gets put in a very awkward position where he's in the open, not sure where to look, leaving Tarek all alone, Coldzera in heaven controlling this area, and the round on lockdown for Faze. You can see just that little bit of communication, the timing from Coldzera, just waiting that extra second to kill. They work it all out perfectly, understanding how that Cirque might rotate in this scenario, and that's one where Cold only needs 1 kill. He has that intuition though, and he's gonna win the round for his team. And that's really all I have to say about Coldzera in Faze Clan. Hopefully they improve a little bit in the future. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you all in the next video.